Okay. Hello everyone. So we are live. I'm just trying to make sure. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Happy Friday, people. I am live. We can see people have started joining in. So welcome. Welcome to another live at CrafTangles and CraftAdda. So today, first live of the month of May, and as I had promised in my live on Tuesday, today is Friday, and we are doing another live with Anamika. So it's going to be a decoupage plus mixed media. So Anamika is going to do decoupage, and I'll do mixed media. Now, those of you who are wondering and who are joining us for the first time, hi, my name is Khyati. I am one of the founder at CrafTadda and CraftAngles. Our idea with these lives are that we try and do something related to adult craft. It could be alcoholings, it could be decoupage, it could be mixed media, watercolors, journaling, so on and so forth. Today's live is going to be about decoupage and mixed media. So I'll be doing a mixed media piece, and Anamika is going to do a decoupage piece. So without further wait, let me just add Anamika into the live and then we can get started. Hello, Anamika.
Hi, Khyati.
Hi, hi. So you are live. And hi, Mithilesh. Hello, Mithilesh Singh Rajawat. Hi, Ekta. Okay, so people are there live on both CraftAngles and Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Guys who have trouble watching on Instagram because of the smaller screens can come and watch us on YouTube. Our channel name is CraftAdda. So if you search on CraftAdda in the live tab, you will be able to find the live channel. And those of you who already follow us on WhatsApp, we would have shared the link there, so you can follow us from there. Anamika, would you like to first take a small thing, or should I start and then once you are done, you will start?
Yeah, whatever, Khyati. No problem. I am
Acha.
just priming the base
हम्म.
and you can start off. No problem at all.
ओके ओके. सो आप प्राइम कर रहे थे तो मैंने बोला आपको मैं बीच में डिस्टर्ब नहीं करती
नहीं
उसके
नहीं
बाद
नहीं
आप
आई एम
बता
जस्ट
दीजिएगा.
सिंपली या आई एम सिंपली प्राइमिंग इट इज अप्रोक्सीमेटली 8 by 10 का एक बेस है आई एम
ओके.
गोइंग टू यूज टू बेसेस दिस विल बी आई विल बी concentrating on the backdrop today. I'll
हम्म.
show you how to make a different sort of a backdrop, and in the center we'll make a focal point for which these are like the coasters available on your website. I
या
think this is 4 by 4 ka hai, so
या
we'll be priming this as well.
या. सो
And
वी
for priming, I am
या.
using gesso white.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Now, since the basis, MDF basis. Now, since Anamika just spoke about the MDF basis, I just because this is something which we recently added on our website because a lot of you have been asking for it. So we have already started, adding bases on our website. So here are some of the samples that I just had in my office today. So I thought I will show it to you. So these are the kind of bases that we normally use in our decoupage, resin, mixed media, all those things. They are 4 mm thick and again, very affordable. So you can check out, just search MDF bases on our website and you'll find those. As always, all the products that we are talking about will be available on our website, which is craftadda.com. So let's get started. Now, I also have done a little bit of prep. So for this, I am using a chipboard because this is kind of a custom tag that I'm making. So the size is very custom. So I actually wanted to showcase to you how to use crackle paste. So if I am hoping, people will be able to see that I have already done crackle paste and kept it ready. That is because crackle paste needs to dry naturally. So I cannot do this in live, but you can see in uh, the zoom in all the cracks. Since this is a white base, currently you may not see it, but once we start coloring, you will be able to see it. So what I have done is, just for those of you who have not seen our crackle paste demo earlier, I have actually passed our crackle paste. So this is translucent crackle paste with a palette knife. Okay, so I have passed this with a palette knife on this base. the stencil that I have used is this. So this is CrafTangles Flourish background stencil that I have used on the base. Now my chipboard is 900 GSM chipboard that I am using. Again, we sell both 900 and 2000 GSM chipboard. This is something which is good enough thickness for tags. It will work. But if you are doing a home decor, go for a thicker piece. So this is approximately 4 by 8, and this is approximately, let me just see, 5.5 by 3.25. So approximately like 3 by 5. Again, I have just made sure that this is smaller than this. So I'm kind of going to do a layered mixed media tag today. Okay. And the background is going to be all about crackle paste. So this is the crackled effect that I have already achieved. Hi, Kavita. Okay, so let's get started. Now, first things first, I want to, for this background, like the top part, like this is going to be the bottom part, this is going to be the top part. Now, all my chipboards are prepped with gesso. So I have used CrafTangles white gesso. I have added 2 coats of it on the chipboard, front and back. Okay, and then first things first, I'm going to prep my top layer. So top layer, I want to use this as a background. Okay, this is our journal papers. So as I have said, journal papers are quite good thickness. So they are slightly thicker than decoupage paper, but very thin as compared to your pattern papers. Okay, so they will work beautifully on journals, decoupage, everything till the time you are working on a flat layout. And these are A6 in size. So if you are doing something smaller or if you want to do collage effect and all those things, these papers will work out beautifully. The one that I'm using is called Vintage Flowers. So that is what I'm going to apply with some decoupage glue. Okay. So Sushma, Anamika is going to do decoupage and I'm going to do a mixed media tag. So that is what we both are going to make. Anamika is going to show us some interesting decoupage background technique with the Buddha as the centerpiece or the focal point. And I am going to make a vintage tag using lots of mixed media elements. And this girl is going to be my centerpiece. Okay. So she's prepping her base with white gesso. I have already done a little bit of prepping because my project is a little bit lengthier today. So I'm just going to take some decoupage glue. Okay. Yes, today mixed media after some ages. पता नहीं आज मुझे मैंने आज भी डेकोपाज निकाला था बट मेरा मन ही नहीं कर रहा था मेरा मन था कि आज मैं डेकोपा मिक्स मीडिया ही करूं सो आई सेड लेट्स फॉलो आवर हार्ट
So both of us mostly likely thought similar.
अच्छा
हाँ,
हाँ एक्चुअली
because
मेरा भी 2 लेयर्स है आपका भी 2 लेयर्स है
हाँ,
सो ऐसा हमारा बिना डिस्कशन किए भी
ये
टेलीपैथी हो
भी हाँ.
जाता है I'm just sticking my journal paper with some decoupage glue, making sure my corners and all are properly stuck. My idea is going to be all browns. So a lot of browns in today's project. Okay, it's going to be like a full-on vintage project. हाँ, break from card making. Yes. Actually मेरे को और cards बनाने हैं to be honest, but मेरे को आज है ना दिमाग नहीं चल रहा था कि मैं क्या सोचूं because card making is always lot of pre-planning. वो मेरा था नहीं. तो मैंने बोला छोड़ो, ना दिमाग नहीं लगाते. how are there only two people in life? Because there is only two people who are going to make projects. So yes, two people in life. Yeah. So now my base is stuck. I will start drying it and then trimming it. Thank you, Kavita. Now you could take a sanding paper and like sand off the excess. Since it is handily available, I'll just do that.
So,
Anamika's base is MDF base. Yes, the base is 8 by 10 inches and the focal point is 4 by 4-inch CrafTangles MDF coaster. So
so
yes,
I had a part of this paper left, Khyati.
yeah,
So I'm going to use that. This is
floral
floral
sketches.
sketches part, I think number two. Yeah.
Yeah. So the one that she is using is Decoupage napkins. It's a black and white print. It's her floral sketches series that she is using. So the name is Floral Sketches 2. Now, guys, as always, whatever product names we are talking about, it is going to be available on our website, which is www.craftadda.com. The name is in the top left corner.
So this is decoupage glue.
Yeah. My chipboard is yet a little bit wet since I have stuck glue on it. So that's why, I'm struggling with some sanding. Once it is 100% dry, it will be faster. Yes, actually, yes, yeah. It's gonna shift, so we are completing some lives back to back. So till 15th, you'll see a lot of Anamika ma'am. And then
Hmm.
you'll see Sneha and Parvati again. Yeah. So now I'm ready with my design. Okay. So this is how it's going to go in the center, and then I have this girl who is going to come in the mold. Now, what is this girl from the molds, etc.? I'll talk about that when we reach that point of time. So first things first, I want to decorate my base. So for my base, as you can see, I have already done the crackle paste and kept it ready, passed it through our flourish stencil. So now we are going to play with some coloring. So for the coloring, what I'm going to do is I actually wanted to play with colors. So I'm going to use colors and textures. So the paste that I'm going to use is rust paste. Now these are not as thick as a paste, but are not as thin as your paint. So they are somewhere in between and they have a lot of textures that you can play around with. And when combined, they will give you a beautiful, like rust-like effect. So that is what we are going to do today. So I'm going to use the colors from this. I'm not going to use the brown. Happy to hear that. Good, good, good. Glad that you could attend, Kavita. People on YouTube and Facebook, you can come and say hi. Everybody always just watches but never says hi. I don't know. We are not that scary. So now with all my paste, since we live in India, I have said this time and time again that always to protect your pastes, always keep them in a cling wrap. You will see I have done that with all my paste, gessos, everything. We always have this cling wrap on top of it. And before closing, put some water in it. This is distillery water. I don't use tap water because I don't want my paste to catch fungi and molds. So always just spritz it with a little bit of water. Will help you with movement as well as will keep your paste wet for a longer time. So now we will start our background coloring. As you can see, it already has a little bit of subtle textures, which right now you may not see, but once we start adding colors, you'll be able to see. Yeah. So my idea is first we will put in chocolate brown. So instead of using the rust brown, what I'm doing is I'm actually going to use a chalk paint color, which is chocolate syrup. This is extremely vintage color, so you can see how it looks. Now I wanted to do this because I want all the colors to go into the crevices of our crackle paste. So जहाँ भी cracks है, I want the colors to seep in. इसके लिए मैं चॉक पेंट यूज कर रही हूँ. देर इज नो अदर लॉजिक. हेलो बानी. हाय अमू. I know Kavita is the only one keeping the live happening with her questions and talking and all that. अपने regular, the usual people are also not here, so probably, that's why. But yeah, we are fun people. Once you start talking with us, you'll realize. So Anamika, you want to add something? मुझे लग रहा है मैं ही बोलती जा रही हूँ पूरी live में.
Nay, what happens is since I had only a partial part of
Yeah.
the paper, so I'm just blending it up with another. This is Floral Platen
Okay.
6. So I'm basically covering up my
Huh.
entire,
With black and
backdrop
white.
along.
Okay. So this is
Yes, correct.
Floral Sketches
Now, if you
6.
don't have
Sorry.
these papers, huh, if you by chance don't have this sort of
Hmm.
particular paper, you can cover it up even by stamping
Yeah.
and, uh, your old newspaper and old letters, they serve the
Yeah. The
purpose very well.
stamping part. The stamping with a waterproof ink
Yeah.
will also work. So she has used Floral Sketches 6 and Sketches 2 for the background. Both of them are white
Two
and black decoupage napkin that she is
black.
using.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just putting a layer of chalk paint on my base, which is going to be the brown color. As I said, I'm kind of wanting a whole vintage vibe. That side. वही अनामिका मैम से बात नहीं करोगे तो शी विल फिनिश एंड देन आई विल हैव अ प्रेशर टू फिनिश, तो इसीलिए मैं उनको डिस्ट्रैक्ट कर रही हूँ. एब्सोल्युटली.
नहीं नहीं, आज मेरा मोस्ट लाइकली इट विल रन अ लिटिल लॉन्ग बिकॉज काफी
Yay.
है.
So mine is also going to run a little long क्योंकि मैंने today I picked up mixed media. I said worst case scenario अगर नहीं होगा तो I'll complete it in 2 parts. But मैंने बोला आज यार मैं पक गई हूँ. I don't want to do decoupage or journaling or card making. So ऐसा there are certain days when you want to do certain things. Today is one such day.
या नहीं, मेरा भी वही हुआ, काफी डेकोपाज
Hmm.
डेकोपाज. तो आई जस्ट वांटेड टू डू
Yeah.
समथिंग डिफरेंट. तो आई सेड के बैकग्राउंड वाला कभी किया नहीं है तो
Right.
करते हैं.
So Bani, we have just started. I think हमारा 15 मिनट ही हुआ है लाइव में. So there is no anything else that we have done. So stick around. There is not a lot that we have done yet. We have just started. Yeah. So I will dry this.
Okay, so next thing is we just randomly use some gold flakes,
Mm.
okay, and we stick it on without any plans, okay. That is up to you wherever you want. You can use gold leaf, you can use gold paint, you can use gold texture paste from CrafTangles,
Mm.
anything. And I am going to just put them in patches without, I have not planned, but you will get to see why I have done that. So you can use foil magic or you can use leafing size. You can also use decoupage glue. I'll be using decoupage glue only since I have covered the surface with decoupage glue. So parts, bits and pieces mein, I'm going to just paste some gold leaf.
So random application of gold leaf to create a little bit of interest here and there. Cool.
Yes.
So now I have applied a layer of brown. As you can see, the application is not even. So there are certain light spots and then there are certain dark spots. That's been done purposefully because we are doing mixed media and we want a lot of layering to be done, a lot of like imbalance things to happen to make it more looking more organic and more vintage. Okay. यस बीना ये आप कैनवस पे भी कर सकते हो सो गाइस जस्ट अ रिमाइंडर दैट हम लोग हर बार वी डू इट ऑन अ चिप बोर्ड और एमडीएफ बिकॉज वी मेक lives almost every week. This week we are doing twice, so this is our second live of the week. So it becomes very difficult कि हम हर बार डब्बा या कुछ बनाएं. But आप जो चीजें हम कर रहे हैं on a chipboard and MDF, you can do on MDF, you can do on a canvas, you can do on a nameplate, boxes, wooden things. You can also do it on a glass and a metal, but you'll have to prep it properly with the corresponding gesso. So that's all you need to take care of. Any base will work. Okay. Thank you, Amu. Appreciate. So Amu says I always enjoy your art and your conversations. Thank you. Appreciate it. So now what I'm doing is I basically am trying to cover a lot of the area with my red color. So you can see over here, it is red in color, right? But since I have applied it with the brown, you can see it has already started becoming vintage. So that's the beauty of underpainting. So for those of you who are already doing watercolors and acrylics, you'll know there is something called as underpainting where the color that you put on top of it will decide underlying color के हिसाब से ऊपर वाला color will change its tone. Okay, so that is what we are doing. Again, the application is pretty random. We just need to cover like 50% of the area. Or you could also cover, like 60% because there is going to be some overlap with the other colors. 60 to 70%. Yes. So again, you don't have to be like super precise. Certain areas you can go with more opaque layer. Certain places you can go with more lighter layers. So you can see how this looks, right? Now I'll dry this layer. Remember, we are doing mixed media, so we always dry layers in between because we want all the layerings to show through. So see, this is what I was talking about that these paint are textured paint. So you can see where I'm applying it thick, right? So for example, this area. So it is kind of covering the whole crackle thing, right? And the other places where I have done light, you can see the crackles are showing through. So that's the idea. We want certain places the crackles to show through. We want certain places the brown to show through, some places red to show through, and then some places where it will cover everything. Okay, so you'll get a lot of different textures. Also, you can see this sand-like texture. So this is from the rust effect paste. So now what are we doing, Anamika?
So now we are using the mask stencil
Okay.
and I'm going to use your texture paste, but the
Mm-hmm.
texture paste, I'm going to mix some colors to it.
Okay.
And I would have actually wanted black, but वही है कि black इसमें मिलाऊंगी तो grey हो जाएगा.
Mm-hmm.
So since my ऊपर वाला thing is going to be this Buddha, okay? So that is what I have planned.
Yeah.
So accordingly, I'm going to use the texture paste के
Colors.
साथ colors. Yes.
Okay.
But
Okay.
before that, I'm going to just decoupage
So,
this particular Buddha figure
right. Right.
on the surface.
So the decoupage, sorry, the stencil number, could you tell it for people
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that,
sure.
yeah.
It is 173.
So 173 is the stencil number, which is the Damas stencil by CrafTangles that she's using there. And for the center, she's using our watercolor Buddha decoupage
One.
napkin.
This is
Buddha
Buddha
one.
1. Yeah.
Buddha one. So now you can see I have added a little bit of orange. Okay. And then we'll move on to the light, the yellow color. The yellow color, we don't want a lot. We want just thoda sa. नो प्रॉब्लम. अनामिका मैम ने ब्राउन क्या लगाया है? अनामिका मैम ने ब्राउन लगाया है, गोल्ड है एक्चुअली वो, दैट्स गोल्ड फॉइल applied on top of the decoupage napkin using the
Yeah.
leaf-in glue. Yeah.
Yeah.
तो एक्चुअली वो कलर्स में ब्राउन लग रहा है थोड़ा इसके लिए
हाँ
शायद.
हाँ वो कैमरा में कलर्स थोड़ा डिफर करता है.
हाँ वही वही. So now I think I'm done with the colors. Now if I need, I may add a little bit of more brown. Yeah. Remember your acrylics already done. बंद करके रख दो. You're not using them. So now I'm going to bring in back the little bit of brown on the base. So for that, again, I'm going to use the same chalk paint, chocolate syrup. Taking a wet brush, little bit of paint and applying it.
So we sort of have darker shade of blue and थोड़ा सा rusty red colors.
Hmm.
Okay. So accordingly, I'm going to just blend in the colors. So let me get the chalk paints. I'm going to mix chalk paints along with your texture paste
Okay.
and maybe some black gesso to get a darker shade.
As always, guys, in case you have any queries, you can let us know in your comments. We are also looking at the comments. So, yeah. Great, Amu. Do give it a try. I had a doubt for distress background in the last week's live. Can we use white gesso and then wets and then top it up with any dark color? Will it show the distress look? Yes. So in that case, Kavita, it will show the white in the background and then whatever color you have applied at the top. So instead of adding any other color. You could have kept it white also. That's completely normal. So you can create the distress look with white gesso and wax.
So I'm using my favorite bohemian blue.
Yes.
You may also use acrylic colors, no problem. वो भी use कर सकते हैं.
हम्म. हाँ, क्योंकि ये डब्बा नहीं है और वो साइड में चिपकता नहीं है इसके लिए.
हाँ.
Right. So now I'm going to use my gold texture paste just to, bring in the little bit of gold. But here you can see the background that we have created, right? And you can see all the crackles also. Quite a bit of it is going to be covered, but from the sides, everything will peek through. Okay. So remember, that's the beauty of uh, having working with mixed media and layers is that you will have to uh, work in layers and a lot of details will show through. कभी कभी क्या होता है कि हमारे lives और photos में you are not able to see all the details, but if you see that project in person, you'll be able to see all the details. Now I'm going to use my texture paste like a wax. So you can see what I have done is I have removed a little bit of paste here and I have added a little bit of water and then I'm using my fingers to kind of add that golden shine. Could you have done the foil thing that Anamika has done? You could have done that also. Doesn't matter. Or just if you have seen my live, you know that I don't like a lot of foil moving here and there. That's why I always try and do something else instead of foil. So that is what I'm doing here. Yeah. But you could have always used foil also. Who knows? I may also at the end. Let's see. Okay.
So I'm just passing the texture paste color around with through the stencil. That's all I'm doing.
Right. Beautiful shade you have created. So this is texture paste white plus bohemian blue plus black, right? The shade that you have created.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Here, I'll just show you. Mm.
Yeah. So she has added CrafTangles white texture paste with the two chalk paints, which is CrafTangles chalk paint bohemian blue and midnight dreams, which is the black color. So you can see here how the wax has come.
Now I'm going to take a little ruby
Yeah.
red. Just play around with colors and the texture.
Right.
That's it.
See what color comes the closest. Thank you, Kavita. So Kavita is saying love the background. So now, as you can see, in my case, the background is very vintage and this looks very white, right? So I'm going to color these also with the same shade of brown. Okay. So I have removed some chalk paint here. I'm kind of moving the color around. Okay. And I'm just spreading it around. Again, I just want to coat. There is no logic. Right. Yeah. So this is our smooshing technique, but rather than distress ink, we are using chalk paints. Yeah. Wherever the colors have not spread, I'm just adding little bit of water and spreading those colors. Yeah.
Slowly, I'm going to take it off. Now, for the next part, I'm first going to dry it up, and then only I can, because this stencil is small, so I am going to first dry it out and then again put the stencil on the particular design and finish it.
So Anamika is in love with this pencil. Yes,
Sorry, Khyati, I couldn't hear you.
the third project that you have done with them.
Hello,
Hello.
hello, hello.
I think her internet went. Anamika, can you hear us now? Okay.
Yes, now I can
आई
hear you
थिंक वो
again.
कुछ तो
Yeah.
आपका इंटरनेट ऊपर नीचे हो रहा है
हाँ, हो
हाँ,
सकता है यार.
उस चक्कर में सो आई वाज सेइंग ये हमारा तीसरा प्रोजेक्ट है वो सेम स्टेंसिल के साथ आपकी फेवरेट लग रही है अभी बन गई है
हाँ, I love this. There is no doubt that I love it. मेरा ना किसी किसी मतलब आई जस्ट फॉल इन लव विथ समथिंग लाइक you know the colors which I
या
like and I love, and this is one of the stencils which I actually, I mean, I can create innumerable number of projects with this.
या या अच्छा माय वीडियो वाज क्रैकिंग सो कुड भी पता नहीं यार पता नहीं क्या इंटरनेट इशू आई हैव नो आइडिया क्या कब कैसे हो रहा है यस अभी आई जस्ट वांट अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ रेड इट्स माय रेड
ज्यादा सेंटर पे नहीं आएंगे बिकॉज दिस इज एज इट इज won't be visible, so साइड में आ जाएंगे.
ओके ओके मैं ये गन यूज कर रही हूँ उसमें हो रहा है मेरा तो सालों से चल रहा है पता नहीं कुछ भी आज इंटरनेट इश्यू आजकल वैसे ही होता है हम लाइव होते हैं और इंटरनेट इश्यू होता है ठीक है सो नाउ टू मेक माय background to stand even a little more what I'm going to do is take some white gesso okay make sure this is dry first any queries, guys, let us know. हम लोग थोड़ा दोनों अपने प्रोजेक्ट्स में खोए हुए हैं तो अगर आपको कहीं लग रहा है कि कुछ सवाल है तो पूछ सकते हो. The red is also the texture base, right? I think I just need a little bit of white here. So for those of you who are wondering why I added white, right? So मेरा ये background कुछ ज़्यादा ही blend हो रहा था with my white, which was, sorry, my background was really getting blended with my top piece because of the color selection. So just to bring up my all the details that I did in the background, right? I kind of went ahead, used white gesso and then did some dry brushing, but with hands rather than a brush. So essentially you can see all the high points are highlighted with the white and it is showing off all the details. And at the same time, it is breaking the like the busyness of the background and so that my background can stand off, right? Now I feel that my top piece also needs a little bit of white. So I will go back again and use some gesso just to bring in that white. I could have used black also, but I kind of felt like, my background was becoming too busy. I can always go back and add a little bit of black later on. Yeah, we could do that also. Today I went with white. So now I'm going to do is start prepping my tag. And I need some dimensions. So for my dimension, I'm going to use the same chipboard. So this is a 900 GSM chipboard. And I'm going to kind of layer a couple of pieces to create the dimension between my two layers. And guys, yes, as Kavita said, you could have also gone with black. I don't know, I felt like I wanted to break a lot of colors. So that's why I went with white. But of course,
Hmm.
you can go with black.
Absolutely.
Oh my, Anamika has changed the look of her project. Full dark and moody, gothic.
I hope it is
Yeah,
looking
can you
nice,
show us
Kathy.
in details? Because I just want to see all
हाँ
the details.
हाँ
Yeah, yeah,
एक मिनट हाँ let me just
yeah, sure.
complete. Is it visible, Khyati?
Yes. Oh, so you have just used the same stencil again and again with different colors to kind of create layers and
Yeah,
interest. And then the
correct.
gold is peeking through the stencil. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just put the stencil inside
Wash tub
the
and come back.
in
Yeah,
under the under
please. Please,
under
please,
water.
please go ahead. So now I'll start sticking my molds and creating the whole mixed media 3D thing. So for that, the glue that I always use and always recommend is this. This is acrylic soft gloss gel. If you give this enough time to dry, this can dry like resin, metal, whatever on top of it. Okay, I have used this with my chipboard samples and all those things where I've stuck chips. Where is my sample? Yeah. So if you see, this had metal pieces and all those things. So now it is like patthar. So you can see I can hold this and nothing falls off, very stable. So this is actually all metal things. Then I had some plastic, some resin and all those things. So these all are stuck with this glue. So once it is dry, it is like your MC. Yeah, it is completely hard. Okay. Yeah, the gold peeking through the stencil is looking very interesting. Negative effect. So palette knife. Stick it in the center. Yeah. Then I'm going to place my just eyeballing again. I don't want to be like perfectionist about it. Just eyeballing, making sure it's in the center. So, or rather, I wanted a little bit offset because मेरा नीचे काफी चीजें आएंगी. So let's do it थोड़ा ऊपर. Yeah, this looks nice. Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about these molds. Okay. So these molds are from Prima. I have said this like I have like a lot of molds like 30-40 molds. Prima के है, Stamperia के है, कुछ Chinese molds भी है. तो सब में एक साथ बैठ के I make a lot of mold pieces and keep them ready and I put them in my like this kind of box. Okay. So like I keep them ready. So whenever I want them, I just pick and use them. So that is how I do. I ideally use resin or art cast with all my molds. Normally, so this is art cast. So you can see at the back, it is creamish in color. These two are resin, so they are transparent. Okay. So depending on your use, I already have a video on my YouTube channel where I compare different things with molds. So you can use air dry clay, you can use molded, you can use resin, you can use art cast, you can use anything. I have discussed pros and cons. You can check that video out on my channel. Khyati Kothari is the channel name where I have discussed all that. But that is how I create these molds. And I have already prepped them because मुझे लगा था कि I won't have a lot of time. So what I have done is I have added a coat of white gesso. Then I have added a coat of chocolate syrup paint. And then I have added a coat of the black color, the midnight dreams. Okay. And that is how I have gotten this effect.
So Khyati, are you like
नो नो
done?
आई एम नाउ गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट
अच्छा,
लेवल.
है ना?
बट मैंने वो मोल्ड्स
ओके
को
ओके,
प्रेप
ठीक है
करके
ठीक
रख दिया क्योंकि मुझे एक्चुअली आइडिया नहीं था कि
है.
हम
हाँ
लोग के पास टाइम बचेगा या नहीं क्योंकि उसको भी काफी टाइम लगता है ना मल्टीपल कोट्स ऑफ जेसो एंड ऑल दैट.
हाँ, because I am now planning a border, so I am using shelf car
अच्छा,
molded,
चलो.
and
सो
I'll
शी विल
just
बी शोइंग
that
यू अ
is why
डेमो
I
राइट नाउ ओनली सो यू कैन सी द डेमो. For the character, you can, this is what I have used, this girl. You could have used our stickers. Okay, I have also used a sticker. I'll talk about it. So you could use mug shots, which have, such kind of old people holding mug shots. So this is actual mug shots of people who went to jail and, they have a like a mug shot. Okay. And then you could use our vintage ladies, which is such kind of vintage ladies stickers. Again, extremely useful for such kind of projects. Or if you are making more colorful things, you can use such kind of abstract woman. Okay. So they are watercolor painted girls. And then you have something like vintage ladies. So all these are stickers. Now the thing is, I have like since ages, I have all these stickers left with me from Prima and Tim Holtz. So I thought मैं ये use करती हूँ. So this is Prima portraits that I am using, but you could have used the Indian alternatives also that I showed. Okay. So I'm going to put this frame. So I have already removed. So this is like a sticker for those of you who are wondering. Okay. And then I have stuck the sticker on a cardstock. So this is dual textured white cardstock. And then I have cut it in such a way कि frame से थोड़ा बड़ा है ताकि कुछ चिपकने को रहेगा. This is how I'll frame the girl. Okay. So for that also, I'm going to use gel. Now this glue will dry glossy once it's dry. So in case you don't like that, like I don't, because normally I use all matte stuff on my bases and for coloring, etc. So I remove all the excess. Like there was a little bit of excess peeking through. Again, guys, we have tons of Prima molds on our website, Prima Stamperia. I think this one also would be available. This is called something squares, some frame Prima. This is a Prima mold. Yeah, I'll just center her. So this mold is ready. And then the same thing I have done for sentiment as well. So for my sentiment, I am using these. So these are our journal sentiment sheets. Sorry, these are our sentiment sheets. The one that I have used is called journal words. Okay. So they come in one black and one white sheet. So this is perfect size for my tag size. So that is why I've selected these. And I have just stuck it. So the sentiment that I'm using is Be Fearless. And I've kind of stuck it on a black cardstock because this is a black sentiment. Okay. And then I have taken, this is another Prima mold. And I'm kind of going to stick it like so. Okay. Thank you, Nishant. So Nishant is saying nice project, Anamika.
Thank you.
So now I will just put this in the center. Now I'll remove all the excess with a tissue. Now, as I have said, this glue is extremely strong. So ये आपके mat पे भी चिपक जाएगा. So never let this dry on your mat or stencils anywhere. Immediately clean this with water. Yeah. So now that our sentiment and the central character is ready, we can start working on our tag. Okay. So my idea with this is that I want to stick the girl here. Okay. Somewhere like this. And then the sentiment will go somewhere like this. Okay. So for that, I've created some more pieces. So this is Stamperia Flourish mold that I'm using. This is one of the Prima gears, and then this is Chinese rose mold. I don't remember the name. Like this is some Chinese mold. Yeah. So this is how we are going to place the things. And then we are going to put the sentiment at the top, something like this. So I'm just eyeballing everything and checking out. Yeah. So yeah, this is good. Okay. So now we'll start sticking things. So what did Anamika ma'am apply before clay? Apply on mold before adding clay for quick removal of the border easily. I think it's powder. Yeah,
Powder,
powder.
powder.
Regular talcum powder. Now this glue takes at least 15 minutes to 30 minutes to even dry. Okay. So that is why I like this glue, so that we have a little bit of wiggle room, especially when you are working with like mixed media and stuff, where you may change a little bit of layout and things around. So that is why I really like this glue. Okay, we will have a few seconds in case we want to move something here and there. It's like I want to move this thoda niche. Yeah.
So I had these pre-made castings, so I'm going to use
Okay.
those.
So those pre-made castings are from a mold, anything specific?
I don't remember. मैं दिखा दूंगी मोल्ड
हाँ,
नेक्स्ट
आई
डे.
थिंक ये मोल्ड ही है, प्रीमा का ही मोल्ड है शायद.
हाँ हाँ मोल्ड ही है. या ऑल आर मोल्ड्स. I think I have used
Yeah.
this also previously in my life.
एंशियंट, हाँ,
एक बार मैंने
एंशियंट
use.
फाइंडिंग्स करके है शायद, if I'm not mistaken. That's the name of the mold.
uh, no idea about
हाँ,
the name, but
I remember you using, so that's why. I eat, sleep, and drink craft. Okay, I too use it, but it this gets removed so easily. That's why I asked. ज्यादा लगाओ कविता, इफ यू आर हैविंग इश्यूज ना, मैं भी बहुत लगाती हूँ, मतलब आई पुट अ लॉट ऑफ टैल्कम पाउडर, तो वो फटाक से निकल जाता है, और वो अभी वेटी है ना, सो सॉर्ट ऑफ इसीलिए अब जितना ड्राई होता है उतना शायद वो थोड़ा चिपकू होते जाते हैं। So now I was thinking to use first a little bit of gold. Okay. So for gold, I'm going to use the same thing. I'm going to use my gold texture paste. Okay. Before doing that, just try this, make it tacky.
Now, kaide se, if you ask me, I would have actually preferred keeping this overnight. But I'll just see if I can hack to color it. Otherwise, I'll have to complete it
Yeah,
later.
no worries.
Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint them black and then highlight them. And highlight them with colors like blues and reds, which is also there on the
Okay.
background. And I might, I'm not sure, either I'm going to, put a frame around it in gold because this will look nice in gold, or I will put a border just like this. I'm going to put a border, but border will only reduce the size. So most likely I'm going to frame
Okay.
it.
Nice.
So what I will do, since these are made up of resin, so I'm going to show you this part so that you know what is going around. What I'm going to do with the molded part, because this is totally soft right now. So I cannot paint it. So it won't look good and it won't give the effect. So यहाँ पे मैं
Yeah.
दिखा देती हूँ. I'm going to
Yeah.
paint it with black gesso
Okay.
first.
What I'm doing is I'm adding gold texture paste with hands like how I did at the background. And then I'm also going to go back and add a little bit of white gesso just to keep, everything in sync. And I did not have any gold on this second layer, so I'm just adding that gold here and there. नॉर्मली द केक का प्रॉब्लम ही होता है ना कि वो क्ले ड्राई नहीं होगा तब तक कुछ कर नहीं सकते हैं इसके लिए. Kavita is saying the same thing. Please don't spoil. It's okay. You can do later on. Just show us thoda part.
Hmm. No, I'll show you. I'll show you. That is why I'm doing this, because ये resin का है, so it has already become hard.
Now again, I'm going to use white gesso. Okay. Just to do a little bit of dry brushing on the top part. Okay. Remove a little bit of white gesso. Just thoda thoda. On the sentiments, I was thinking to use the journal sentiments because, as you all know, I'm a sentiment person. I like to put the sentiments. But before I do that, I just wanted to show you all the details. So, do you see all the crackled effect and the layering that we did? So, unfortunately, क्या होता है बहुत बार फोटोज में वो सब नहीं आएगा. I'm thinking I'm going to use white sentiment to make them stand out. Okay, so the sentiment here is be fearless.
Okay, so now I am going to
Hmm.
use Primaka Peacock and Lucky
Okay,
Emerald.
valses.
Yes. You can also use any sort of mica powder mixed with decoupage glue. That also will
Okay.
work. Or you can use acrylic paints or chalk
Okay.
paints. But वो शिमर नहीं आता है फिर.
Hmm.
शिमर के लिए you have to use
Yeah,
mica.
mica, right. So I'm just looking at the sentiment that I want to add, as this is the best part for my project. So I'm going to use the sentiment that says, when you know better, do better. Because, it says be fearless. Thank you, Amo. Thank you. Thank you, Mithilesh Singh Rajawat. Thank you. So as you can see, these are all pre-cut sentiments. So what my idea is, I'm going to put one here and one here. Okay. नीचे एक ऊपर एक नीचे. So I'll cut off excess. And I'm going to actually
So I'll just show you.
before doing that, let me add some splatters. Please go ahead. Ar.
So this is how it is going to look. So थोड़ा सा जैसे ही hard हो जाता है, let me see. By that time, I'll see
Yeah, me
yours.
too. मैं जूम इन करके दिखाती हूँ. मेरा भी लास्ट स्टेप ही है एक्चुअली.
हाँ.
बट एज यू नो, कविता सेड कि हम लोग ब्लैक भी कर सकते थे और इधर ब्लैक है मोल्ड्स में. तो आई एम काइंड ऑफ ब्रिंगिंग दैट ब्लैक अगेन विथ सम ब्लैक स्प्लैटर्स. ओके, सो दैट्स ऑल्सो अनदर वे
Hmm.
टू bring colors back into your project. So I'm using the same chalk paint. Now before I add sentiment, I will do it and I'll not put it near her face, of course. Black light है. Ah, मैं दिखाती हूँ आपको एक.
हाँ.
So here is all the detailing, Anamika. ये हमने background में crackle किया and then we have colored it using rust paste.
Beautiful.
This is our journal paper as a second layer background, and the girl is from the Prima sticker.
Love
This is our
it.
sentiment.
बहुत
Thank
अच्छा है.
you. आज मैंने बोला ना आज मुझे मिक्स मीडिया ही करना था. So now Amu is saying, Amu, Kavita, Mithilesh are saying, Anamika ma'am, amazing it's looking.
अच्छा अभी तो कंप्लीट
हाँ,
नहीं हुआ. आई
अब
डोंट
मैं
नो.
कंप्लीट हो
I'll
गया
give
और
you
अमेजिंग
a
लगेगा यार.
I'll give you a closer look.
Yeah. Yes, lovely, very pretty. मैं भी इंस्टाग्राम पे सबके साथ देख रही हूँ.
अच्छा आई डोंट हैव एनीथिंग
Yeah.
एल्स ना वो.
नहीं बहुत सुंदर लगा.
हाँ तो आई कैन ओनली सी. हाँ वो यू नो छोटू सा एक स्क्रीन
Yeah,
आता है
yeah.
मेरे मोबाइल के ऊपर. हाफ मेरा हाफ
Right.
तुम्हारा. तो आई यूजुअली सी
हाँ.
इट लेटर ऑन वंस यू आर डन विथ योर प्रोजेक्ट ना. जब लाइव
मेरे को
होता है तब
कमेंट
देख
के लिए मेरे
पाती
पास
हूँ.
पूरा सेटअप है ना. तो
हाँ हाँ
तो
दैट इज
मुझे
वाई.
सब
दैट इज
देखना
वाई.
पड़ता है. मेरा
But next time, you know what? Maybe I can take the
या
tab from my son and I can. हाँ है ना
स्नेहा
वो
करती
इंस्टा
है
पे
वो.
देख सकती हूँ.
So she can also see
अच्छा
comments and
ओके.
all. तो either Insta or
हाँ
YouTube,
ठीक है.
she picks it. वैसा.
चलो नेक्स्ट टाइम वो करती
हाँ.
हूँ मैं. मेरा टेबल के ऊपर जगह नहीं होता है. मैं आई एम बेसिकली वर्किंग ऑन अ 12 by 12 स्पेस. रेस्ट ऑल द थिंग्स आई मीन पीपल विल गेट स्कैर्ड इफ
We
दे सी
saw
माय
it on
टेबल.
last Tuesday. And मेरा भी ऐसा ही है. आप मेरा देखोगे ना तो एक्चुअली और गंदा है. मतलब मैं तो दिखा ही नहीं सकती. इतना बुरा शर्म आ जाएगा. क्या दिखाओ.
बिकॉज आई ऑल्सो वर्क ऑन माई
या
ऑर्डर्स ना. तो वो उसमें उस तरफ काम चलता है और यहाँ पे लाइव
सेम
करती
सेम
हूँ.
सेम
तो मतलब बहुत हालत बुरा है मेरे टेबल का. बहुत
सेम
हालत
मेरे
बुरा
टेबल पे अगले रिलीज के सब सैंपल्स पड़े हैं. तो मैं वैसे ही नहीं
है.
दिखा सकती. तो यस बट या मेरा भी बस ये लास्ट ही है. देन आई थिंक आई एम आल्सो डन. So then the second sentiment says she has the power to change the world. Okay. So very like uplifting quotes and feminist quotes. आज पता नहीं मेरा मन कर रहा था ऐसा project बनाने का. तो yeah. So see, this is the final project. So you can see all
I
the
love it.
details. So this says when you know better, do better. So it kind of goes with the be fearless thing. And then again you can see the gold texture paste से जो मैंने किया है. So I wanted both gold and white to show through. And then इधर जो black किया है मैंने उसको even out करने के लिए I did black splatters on the background. And the sentiment is also black just to bring a little bit of black. And then नीचे वाले छोटे sentiment I have done white. So yes, that was a small mixed media tag from my end. Something completely, I think ये मैंने जिंदगी में पहली बार एक मिक्स मीडिया टैग बनाया है. एंड आई लाइक इट. यू मे सी मी डूइंग फ्यूचर में.
Yeah, I love
एंड
it.
छोटा कैनवस होता है ना तो आप एक्सपेरिमेंट्स कर सकते हो. मतलब सो आई थिंक यू विल सी मोर ऑफ दीज कमिंग योर वे with different different colors and different different products. So yes, that was it by myself, and what Anamika showed was by her. I hope आपको मजा आया. So Amu is saying every artist ka table looks like that only. Anamika ma'am, please show that glitter paint. So she is glitter वाला
Uh,
एरिया जो आपने वैक्स लगाया वो
okay.
probably थोड़ा zoom in करके
Oh, wax or you, she wants to see
दोनों
this.
दिखा दो. So this is the foil peeking through the paste. Okay. And then ये आइडिया मुझे बहुत सही लगा अनामिका. Cool idea, by the way. And
Oh,
this is the wax at the top that she has done. So that's the Prima wax. Again, something that we sell, guys. All the projects that we sell are what we have used. You may not get the same color अगर sold out होगा, लेकिन आप check कर सकते हो website पे. I don't know the current stock of the waxes. हाँ, फिर भी दोनों. हाँ, बिफोर 2 आवर्स क्या ऑलमोस्ट 1 आवर 15 मिनट्स. यार हम लोग एकदम फास्ट थे आज, फास्ट. मैं तो काफ़ी कुछ प्रेप भी करके आई थी, तो मेरा जल्दी ही होना था टू बी ऑनेस्ट. बट येस, आई एम हैप्पी, मतलब 1 hour हाँ, ऑलमोस्ट 1 hour 10 minutes, 1 hour 15 minutes में हमने 2 प्रोजेक्ट खत्म कर दिए बड़े-बड़े। So yes, Anamika's the clay part is left. She'll be doing that later on once it dries for people who are wondering. And I'm done. I just have to take pictures now. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Today's live. I mean, I hope it gave you some ideas on how you can use our products in different ways. Anamika, आपको अपना चेहरा दिखाना है नहीं दिखाना है क्या करना है?
आज भी
अरे
भूतनी बनी
उसमें क्या
हूँ, बट आई विल
सब
जस्ट
वही होते हैं.
एक मिनट.
I too don't have that liberty on me. I have to come at the start with my face. I don't have an option, whether I'm feeling like it or not. इसके लिए. But lovely project अनामिका, मुझे वो टेक्निक बहुत अच्छा लगा,
थैंक
मैं
यू.
करूंगी. I want to do it with something else, but you give me ideas now. So yes.
ये वॉल के ऊपर भी बड़ा
हाँ,
अच्छा लगता है.
और वो थोड़ा-थोड़ा जगह से जो वो फॉइल पिकिंग थ्रू जो शाइन है ना, दैट्स लुकिंग वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग.
या
So definitely would be doing that. Thank you, Mithilesh Singh Rajawat, Kavita, Ammu for staying there from start to the end on Insta. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you people who were on our YouTube, Ekta, Nishan, Bani, and then many people were there, but nobody is talking. So thank you for being those nameless people. Next time, if you come, do say hi. We always enjoy talking to our people who are live and doing some chit chat because it gets boring. Sometimes our life goes even beyond 2 hours. So it is always fun to interact with people while we are doing live. So yes, thank you everyone. हम अनामिका के साथ वापस नेक्स्ट वीक और एक लाइव करेंगे. डेट हम लोग थोड़ा फाइनलाइज करके डाल देंगे हमारे ऑन आवर व्हाट्सएप एंड इंस्टा एंड फेसबुक, so that people know beforehand when we'll be joining on the live. As always, join our YouTube, especially because that is where we now do a lot of our lives. So you can keep subscribed. So whenever we add a new event, you will be able to know that our new live is going to come in the upcoming day or so. So that ways you can always stay connected. And I hope people you enjoyed what we made today. We will see you soon next week. Thank you, Anamika, as always, with sharing your
थैंक
knowledge.
यू, क्या.
And thank you, everybody.
थैंक
Thank